ファミリーコンピュータの楽しいカセット情報。
By 1987, Nintendo had sold nearly 12 million Famicoms in the span of just 4 years. The Famicom's meteoric rise had caught the eye of Nomura Securities, the oldest brokerage firm in Japan, having been established in December of 1925. Nomura Securities saw the Famicom as an unprecedented opportunity to bring their financial services directly into Japanese homes by allowing Famicom consoles to connect directly to the financial giant via a telephone network. It may seem strange to think of a console released in the early 80s as being able to connect to a dial-up network, but while it certainly wasn't common, it also wasn't a new idea. In fact, even the Atari 2600 had a modem and dial-up service called GameLine, and the INTELLIVISION had the PLAYCABLE, both of which would allow users to download games.
For about $25, you can give your family one video game cartridge. Fun, huh, guys? Or for less than half that, you can give them PLAYCABLE. $500 worth of INTELLIVISION games a month on cable. 20 games to pick from, 24 hours a day. No schedules to follow, no cartridges to buy.
But that's a story for another video. This is the story of the Famicom Network System. Nomura Securities approached Nintendo with their idea, and Nintendo, seeing an opportunity to expand beyond just games, agreed to work with Nomura on the project. In the summer of 1987, Nintendo President Hiroshi Yamauchi asked Masayuki Umera of Nintendo Research and Development Division 2 to work with Nomura Securities to jointly develop a networking solution. Soon after, Masayuki attended a meeting at Nomura Securities headquarters in Tokyo to hear the full proposal. Nomura Securities wanted to use the Famicom as a terminal that when dialed into the network would provide their clients with stock prices, other financial information, and even the ability to buy and sell stocks. Nomura would take on the task of creating the host computer program and database, while Nintendo would be in charge of developing a modem that would allow the Famicom to dial into the network as well as the Famicom side of the software, with Nomura Securities providing input. The Famicom modem is attached by inserting it into the Famicom's normal game cartridge slot. The modem itself has its own cartridge bay that was designed to use special cartridges that would offer additional services such as financial news, jokes, weather forecasts, and more. The modem featured its own ROM, network control circuits, and a series of LSI chips to provide enhanced security such as public key encryption. The Famicom Network System wound up using a password system for security, and the security-enhancing chips were seen as unnecessary and went unused. In July of 1988, just a year after its inception, Nintendo manufactured 1,500 prototype modems that were then distributed to a selection of Nomura Securities customers for testing. Thanks to a booming Japanese economy and rising stock prices, the market seemed ripe for the Famicom network modem. It wasn't uncommon to see crowds of people gathered in front of financial companies' stock ticker boards to keep track of share prices. With the Famicom Network System and Nomura Securities services, they would now be able to do so from the comfort of their own homes. According to Masayuki Umera, testers' reception to the Famicom modem couldn't have gone better, and just 2 months later, in September of 1988, the Famicom modem went into full production.
"あらゆる角度の情報が謎を解き明かす大型コンピュータとご家庭のテレビを結び、安全に確かな財産づくりをお手伝いします。野村のファミコントレード。"
Not long after Nintendo and Nomura Securities announced their plans, even non-financial companies wanted in on the action, with Japan Racing Association even debuting a service that allowed JRA members to bet on horse races from their homes through the modem. The launch, however, was far from perfect. Nintendo's Famicom modem used Nippon Telegraph and Telephone's DDX-TP network, which allowed for data to be transferred via telephone lines to DDX, the company's packet switching network. This network proved to be unstable, and Nintendo found itself plagued by circuit failures. Isolating the root cause of the issue was a tedious process that involved Nintendo visiting houses where failures had occurred. Nintendo eventually found the problem, but it was far from their last. Nintendo received complaints from customers who were unable to figure out how to connect the Famicom to their TV sets, and even complaints about data transmission issues in cases where the customer had just forgotten to attach the modem to the console. Some units were simply returned, due to customers finding it to be a nuisance to connect the Famicom when the TV and phone jack weren't near each other. But worse than any of those issues, stock market prices began declining. The Famicom Network System was mostly used as a way to check on stock market prices, and once customers lost interest in the stock market, they had little use for the system. In the 3 years it was available to consumers, Famicom modem sales reached 130,000 units, largely due to consumers who purchased the system specifically for horse racing. Masayuki Yumera went as far as to say that nearly 100,000 of the Famicom modems Nintendo sold were specifically purchased for horse race betting. Nintendo created 5 prototype network games for the Famicom modem, but none were ever released. One of the titles Nintendo developed was a competitive game of Go, which was created at President Yamauchi's request. The network games required players to be connected to the phone line for an extended period of time. Between tying up their phone line and possible data transmission fees users might incur, Nintendo decided that there wouldn't be a strong enough demand for the games to release them. The Famicom modem's last official use would be in toy shops, where it was used as a gateway to access the Super Mario Club, which among other things provided users with a searchable database of game reviews. Nintendo also used the Super Mario Club to conduct market research and to let consumers communicate directly with the company. Though the Famicom modem had a relatively short lifespan, it gave Nintendo invaluable experience, and its legacy continued as it served to directly inspire Nintendo's 1995 Satellaview satellite modem. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, you can do so on Twitter at WrestlesGaming. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please consider checking out my gaming documentaries playlist or subscribing to my channel. But most importantly, thank you for watching.